how they
So they're
communicate.
chimpanzees. So they're chimpanzees.
It can be whatever. It's a non-human language. Birds are non-humans and they have a non-human language. Cats are non-humans and they have their own language.
This is absolutely ludicrous. But if they were non-human, if they were completely non-human, and they had them for, say, a beef industry, that would be a totally different thing than what you're comparing it to. We're talking about fucking the Holocaust. This is two totally different things. You're not going to get me to compare the Jews that were in the Holocaust to fucking animals. You yourself are making an example, dehumanizing Jews, and that's fucking ludicrous.
Do you understand the hypothetical? Because I never said that they're human.
Yeah, but you're talking about the Jews in the Nazi Holocaust.
Yeah, they're not human. They have some kind of background, right, that links them to something that makes them kind of Jewish. But all I'm saying is they're not human. They've never been human, and they have no human traits. They're not human at all.
Okay, then we're not talking about humans. So stop using.
I never said humans. I never ever said humans. I kept saying
Nazis and Jews. Those are two different groups of humans.
Non-humans, like literally, I would just call them animals because there seems to be like a weird thing. So they are animals, right? They have some ancestry to something Jewish. I don't know.
What are you talking about, dude? Like, no, if they had goats and they killed all their goats, that wouldn't be a problem to me. If they had something resembling a fucking human, then yes, that would be a fucking problem because they are human.
What is that thing?
Seems to be getting really emotional and upset, so maybe I can try a different thought experiment. Because this one seems to be, he's really upset now.
Like, what are you talking about? You're trying to get me to say that killing humans is okay? Is that what you're trying to get me to say?
We're not trying to get you to say anything. We're just trying to establish what your values are.
Yeah, my values are humans are the most valuable forms of life on Earth. Period. Point blank.
Let me try a different thought experiment. Would you be okay with like chimpanzee farming?
No, I wouldn't, because they share so much genetics to us that they are closer to value.
So let's slow down. So it's not let's just slow down. So it's not human then. So there's some line between chimpanzee and cow, which makes it okay to cut a cow's head off for unnecessary stuff. Is that right?
There's a lot of factors like relatability, companionship, different things that have encoded into our genetics that make animals of different species more valuable than others. For example, you wouldn't have a problem killing a rat that was tainting all your food in your house, but you would have a problem killing a deer.
There's a justification there, but for like the self-defense justification, but your justification is literally, I just want food because it's yum yum. So there's a different justification there. And you wouldn't do that for a chimpanzee. You wouldn't do that for a chimpanzee, correct? You said that's morally wrong. So there's some line between chimpanzee and cow, which makes it okay to kill the cow for unnecessary reasons, where it's not okay to kill the chimpanzee. And what is that reason?
The relatability aspect that I just talked about. They are our closest cousin on this earth. We relate to them on a genetic level. They're not.
Okay, how about a bonobo? How about a bonobo then? Or a spider monkey? Can we kill those for unnecessary stuff?
Spider monkeys are far less than chimpanzees. I will admit that I'm a species.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where the line is. Can we farm spider monkeys for unnecessary stuff?
I wouldn't say farming monkeys, but when it comes to certain tribes that eat monkeys,
I'm asking you about farming. Yeah, specifically about farming.
Me specifically? No, that wouldn't be a very viable
spider monkeys. Let's go down the line. How about a dog? Is it justifiable to farm dogs for unnecessary stuff?
Again, it's relatability. We've been genetically coded to see dogs as companions, same as cats and horses. They are companions that we live with that help us live. For eons and eons, we have seen these as companions.
Hyenas.
Yeah, can we farm hyenas?
Are like wolves. They're predators. No, we've for eons we've looked at them like they will kill us. We can kill them.
Yeah, so we can farm hyenas for unnecessary stuff?
Sure.
Okay. Could I ask
That's a yes or no question, by the way.
He said
He said yes.
I said sure.
He said yes.
You said no to hyenas, or you said
Sure,
yes?
Sure.
Yes.
He said,
Okay, so so you can farm hyenas, but you can't farm dogs. Is that
Right.
is that what you're saying? And
Right.
what is the inherent trait between the two entities which makes it okay to farm one for unnecessary stuff and not the other?
If you walked up to a hyena in the Sahara right now and tried to pet it, it would more than likely kill you. If you walked up to even the wildest dog and tried to pet it, it would not try and kill you. It might bite you out of fear, it might run away from you, but it's not going to try and kill you. That's the difference on a general scale.
So if I find a domesticated dog that tries to kill me, I can farm them for unnecessary stuff?
No, but you can kill them.
No, I mean farm them and eat them for unnecessary things, like you do with cows.
Once again, the X that the other person was just talking about, the species, the X, even though there's a dog that is vicious and mean and tries to kill you, it does not separate him from that species. He's still a dog. He's still a companion.
Oh, so that's a contradiction then. That's a contradiction. You said that the trait was that they'll try to kill you, but it's also, that's not the trait because that dog has that trait. So can you try again? What's the line between a hyena?
He's an outlier in the species. 99.9% of dogs domesticated dogs that you encounter right now, if you go outside, will not try and kill you. 99.9% of hyenas would try and kill you to eat you. It's an outlier of the X.
Yeah. If I find that outlier dog and then breed more of those into existence for food, that's justifiable in your view?
No, because I see dogs as companions, the species.
Bro, you keep contradicting yourself over and over. Fucking embarrassing.
Too. Like I think you're mistaken about the dogs too. If you intrude in somebody's property, most dogs are going to attack you and try to kill you.
Yeah, they're protecting their owners. They're not going to try and kill to eat you. They're not predators. They're not going to go out of their way to.
Let's finish this because this is pure vibes. You're not even thinking of the animals themselves. Joe is asking you literally, what's the difference in the animal? And you say my vibes. What I think about those animals, that's the difference. Like how would
no, it's kind of a genetic. It's kind of a genetic coding.
How would even hyenas being like being able to kill you would mean that you can farm them? Like what's even the connection there? I don't even know. So you're just like vibing at us. You're just like, well, because of this stupid reason. No, tell us what's
I just told you. I just told you the difference. I just told you there's a genetic code in our brain that disconnects us from sentimental value of that animal.
Be quiet. Why is this difference morally irrelevant?
It's genetic. It's our genetic coding to value a species. It's like
what? Do you think Chinese people are different in genetics from you? Because they don't value dogs like at all. They eat them.
Once again, it's a culture. Genetically,
the West. Not fucking genetics, is it? So
once again, I said 97. Once again, at the beginning of this conversation, when he was talking about X and Y, 97%, somewhere around there, of the world population does not agree with farming to eat dogs.
Culture genetic.
Yes, culture is genetic.
Culture is genetic. That means when you change something in your culture, your genes change.
What's that?
When you change something in your culture, then it means that your genes change?
If you stay in the same culture for eons and eons and generations after generations, yes, the genetics change.
So hold on. So when we abolished slavery, did the genes of white people change in the US?
90% of people, the mass
that was a yes
majority,
or no, by the way. That was
listen,
yes or no.
No, you
just
can't
yes or no, quick yes or no.
You can't just say that and then brush it across. The mass majority of people before the abolition of slavery did not agree with slavery in the first place. That was something that the West inherited from.
But the culture changed and we abolished slavery. So does that mean that the genetic substance of white people changed right there? when you abolished slavery?
Just said the mass majority already didn't agree with it
yes or
long
no
before the
question.
abolition.
So I would love a yes or no answer. So does that mean when you change the culture of slavery, does that mean that white people's genetic composition change?
Yes, eventually, yes.
Oh my
Do you
God.
think China? Wait. Do you think Chinese people have a different genetic composition that makes them want to eat dogs?
Yes.
They have a dog-eating gene?
The genetic code makes up everything from instincts to diet.
Wait. Did you just say that Chinese people have a dog-eating gene?
They have a genetic code that makes it less morally wrong to eat dogs than Western society.
So
Let me ask you another quick question. Let me ask you a quick. Okay, go.
So Chinese people actually, so the country of the region of China, they actually changed the law and they vowed to stop eating dogs by 2028, I think. So does that mean that the genetic composition of Chinese people is going to change in 2028?
No, it'll take a long time, but eventually, yes.
VPN, let me do another quick one. Do you believe that there's like hypothetical aliens that might exist, like Vulcans? Like, do you think that could exist somewhere out in the universe?
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, do you think it's like hypothetically possible that hyper-intelligent aliens exist, like you see in movies?
Statistically, it's impossible to say no.
Okay, so if those aliens exist, did we genetically evolve to not eat them?
Well, they're unknown to us. They're completely
exactly. So
genetics.
we wouldn't have evolved to have any intuitions about eating them or not. So would it then therefore be moral, on your view, to factory farm Vulcans?
Once again, this is an impossible.
Just on your view, based on what you said earlier, would it be ethical to farm Vulcans?
I don't see why it would be unethical, but nobody would do it because nobody would want to eat an alien because they're foreign to us.
So is it ethical or not to farm Vulcans for unnecessary stuff?
I don't know,
and
dude.
chop their heads off.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Just based on your reasoning, it would be a yes, because we didn't evolve genetically to have any attitudes, yes or no to that. So that's a yes on the bullet point. You can farm Vulcans?
It's like mushrooms. When you encounter a mushroom you don't know, you don't touch it. Like there's no intuition on whether or not to eat it because you don't know what it is. Personally, if you're asking me personally, no, I wouldn't eat a fucking.
You just said. People have intuitions about poisonous mushrooms?
What's that?
You think people have intuitions about poisonous mushrooms?
Absolutely.
Oh, so if I take my baby to the forest right now, it's gonna know not to eat the red mushroom with white dots?
Generally speaking, humans stray away from eating mushrooms.
No. If I take
they know exactly what it is.
If I take a baby to a forest right now and there is a red mushroom with white dots, you think the baby gonna know not to eat that mushroom?
Okay, first off, babies don't have an intact.
That's a yes or no question. So babies are humans, I assume, and instinct is something that exists in babies, right?
I'm not saying it exists in babies.
So the
they're incapable.
If I take a baby right now into the forest and there is a mushroom, is it gonna have the baby? Is it gonna have the instinct to not eat that poisonous mushroom?
It may or may not. I don't know how young instinct take over.
Out of your fucking mind. That's a contradiction, by the way, because you did say that human beings have instincts not to eat poisonous mushrooms, but all of a sudden, when I put a baby in front of a poisonous mushroom,
because it's a fucking baby.
It's gonna have an instinct or not.
It's a fucking baby.
Just make sure to tell us right here, right now, that you're full of shit because you just contradicted yourself, and you contradicted yourself earlier by saying. I
contradicted myself by saying I don't know what a fucking baby would do when it comes to a mushroom.
Yeah,
what are you
baby is a human being.
The fucking baby
have instincts to not eat poisonous mushrooms. You just contradicted yourself.
Dude, next time you come to the debate, you should bring empirical evidence that Chinese people have a dog-eating gene, and then also try not to be hungover.
Empirical evidence, like a fucking Vulcan lives, and we're going to start farming them. Like you understand,
it's a hypothetical to test your values. I said it was hypothetical, but you said Chinese people have a dog-eating gene. Yeah. Mine was hypothetical. Yours was an empirical gene.
I said they have they have genetic lining that does not have the same moral obligations against eating dogs, and it's obvious because they fucking do it.
That's an empirical claim, but as Joe's was a hypothetical, it doesn't require empirical evidence.
Yeah, but now he's comparing fucking Jews to animals. What is wrong with y'all people?
Oh, sweetie. Listen, go rest for real, because you're getting out of control. You're contradicting yourself. You think Joe is phallic all of a sudden. Like, you're hallucinating at this point. So go get us those empirical claims. Come back in a couple of weeks when you can refute the study that I gave you. Then we can talk again.
Y'all are out of y'all's minds, but okay.
We are nuts. You just contradicted yourself like 10 times when we stayed.
We're out of our minds, says the guy who says racist shit like Chinese people have a dog-eating gene. Okay, bro.
No, they eat fucking dogs, so obviously they don't have the genetic morals to not eat dogs. They don't have the same moral obligations to not eat them.
Do you not
Dude,
know
that's
what
fucking
behavior
insane.
is?
That is insane.
Do you not understand the concept of behavior?
Yeah.
Okay, so when a child from China is adopted into the United States, they're not going to have this instinct to eat a dog.
How do you? I'm not saying they have instincts to eat dogs. I'm saying that they have a.
Culture is genetic, and you said dog eating is genetic.
I didn't. Once again, y'all are putting things into my mouth. I didn't say they have a genetic.
They don't have the moral
to force them to eat dogs.
Hold on. So they don't have the moral inclination to not eat dogs in Chinese, right? And you tied that to genetics. You said that's genetic. They don't have the moral inclination to not eat dog, genetically speaking. So you are saying what we are saying that you're saying. We're just simplifying it a little bit. So Axel asked you if a Chinese child, when let's say infant, is adopted into an American family, is that Chinese child going to have inclination to eat dogs?
Lesser. They're going to have lesser. They're going to have lesser inclination. What?
Did his genetics change?
No, I'm saying he's going to have lesser moral obligation to not eat dogs than the average person. But
wow,
you can absolutely listen. You can absolutely raise someone to stray away from their normal culture, their genetic culture. But when they are raised in that genetic culture, those instincts and those genetic codes are able to show much more prominently. There's a thing called
that empiric, since you're white, you still have the genetic code to enslave Black people.
Once again, I told you that the massive majority of white Westerners disagreed vehemently with slavery. The mass majority. Studies showed that polls back then were somewhere around 70% were vehemently against it.
So that's a genetic variation in white people. So it's 95% of white people don't have the genetics for enslavement and 5% do. Is that what you're claiming?
And
well, 5% found it reasonable is all I'm saying. That they're not. It's not necessarily a genetic. It's an outlier.
They fucking even as late as 80 years ago, they fucking strung Black people on trees. So I'm just asking if that variation, if that genetic variation died down, or if people are gonna wake up one day and start stringing Black people on trees again. If it still exists.
Okay. If you have a psychopath as a neighbor, does that mean your whole neighborhood is genetically psychopaths? No, it's an outlier.
95%
outliers in X, like I've been saying this whole time.
Are 95% of white people genetically different from the other 5%, the slave?
No, they're outliers. They're outliers that do whatever they
gene. That's what you're saying, because you're saying culture is genetic. So there is a slave owning gene as there is a dog eating.
There was never a slave owning culture in the Western world. The massive majority disagreed with it.
Hold on. hold
fuck
on.
do you mean by that? You're now
Yeah.
denying history.
Yeah,
to
you might
actually
be
want.
you might be talking about the United States, but the Confederate States had the majority of people supporting, even the people that didn't have slaves were supporting slavery in the Confederate States of America.
No, they were not. I'm from a Confederate state of America. My grandpa grew up, his dad and grandpa grew up when slavery was still a thing.
Okay, dude,
Like
I
it
just
wasn't, they
Googled it.
vehemently,
Yes, dude, just Google it. Yes, majority of the white population in the Confederate States supported slavery, and 30% of free families actually owned slaves. So 30% of free people owned slaves, and then even more so, those who didn't still supported slavery because it benefited all people, because it was cheap. It was cheaper for things to be purchased in the Confederate States.
I don't understand where you're getting your data. I'd like to see it, because everything I've ever seen said 90% of people, like only 5 to 10% of people own slaves when slavery is at its peak in America. And pretty much every other person was vehemently against
So
it.
did
Somewhere
they
around
have the slave
70%
gene or
of.
not? Is what I'm interested to know. Did they have the slave gene?
No, they didn't, because the mass majority was against.
So
There was never a slavery culture in America.
wait. But it was a slavery culture, and so at least in 10% of the population. So culture appears to not be genetic, according to
They were
you.
outliers.
That's another contradiction there, my dude. You're just talking out of your ass. Just admit it. You're just making shit up.
They're just outliers. 10% of the population of dogs would ruthlessly kill you.
So culture is not genetic then.
Culture is genetic, but
So
there was never a slavery culture in the United States.
That's your
There's a slavery
behavior.
culture in parts of Africa and Asia. Absolutely, there is slavery culture in those places.
Hold up.
Almost everyone there is just part of their life. No one would disagree with it. Whereas in the Western world, there was always a resistance by the majority against slavery. Always.
Okay, so this website shows that South Carolina in December 20th of 1860, 40% of there was 46 of slave owning families, and then 50% of 57% of the population were enslaved.
And South Carolina was the capital of agriculture for the United States. Okay. It only had maybe, I would say, 7 to 8% of the nation's population of the 13 colonies.
What state did you say? You're North Carolina?
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
I live in North Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina was the capital of agriculture.
Why are we trying to extrapolate data about a country from one state?
Because there was a very small white population compared to the other colonies in South Carolina, but they were all slave owners. So of course the ratio is going to be skewed, that more people would be obligated by just sheer money to say that they supported slavery because they owned slaves. It was a farming, it was an agriculture culture in South Carolina.
The point is, the total population of all the Confederate states, this website still points out that the whole country of the Confederate States of America, 30% of the entire Confederate States of America owned slaves.
Okay, and back to what I was saying, the South was predominantly agriculture. There was very few cities in the South. All the cities were up north, around New York, Virginia, DC,
that's the United
Maryland.
States. The Confederate
Your
States,
population was densely up north.
are the South, okay? Confederate States of America were a different country at the time. They branched out from the United States. They branched out. They had their own president, And during the time, they had 30% of the population was owning slaves. So this country, the Confederate States of America, which had their own president,
they attempted to have a president. They attempted to secede. They never were.
During the war, they had their own president. They didn't gain independence, but they still had their own president functioning against the Abraham Lincoln. He was an official. Yeah. It was an official, not independent country. You can be a country that is not independent and still be an official country.
Sorry, can we move on from this? And actually, can you fucking leave already? I asked you like 2 hours ago to leave. And
yeah, well, every time I do, somebody says some dumb shit.
Yeah, you're grown-ass man. You can listen just to the owner of the server and leave.
Well, you can also have the function of kicking me, but as soon as I figure out how to leave out of this thing, I'm going.
It's a hang up,
disconnect. Huge red button on the fucking bottom.
Bro,
fuck, man.
I wanted to ask one question, man. Like, no. I grew up with the cow eating gene, and at some point I changed. So did I do genetic manipulation of myself? How does that work?
I didn't get to ask any of the questions that I wanted. I had so many questions that it was just like,
oh, bro, we did kind of gang up on him, so it's like, yeah, can leave, because the whole point was, right, he was like, oh, look at this data, I disagree.
Yeah.
And like, I just need him to refute this thing if he disagrees with it. Even when I showed him the fucking chronometer, right? I showed him a chronometer saying that tofu per calorie has more protein than 80% lean beef. I disagree. And then his evidence for it was just like a completely different claim.
Yeah.
So he's a gibberish generator, man. Oh my god, culture is genetic. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, not to mention he said that he cares about like crop deaths and everything, but yet he was also talking, like, right as I came in, he was talking about how many deer he hunts in a day. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You care about crop deaths. Like, you were just talking about how many deer you hunt in a day, which was, it was like 20
I don't think he was making the claim that he gives a shit. He literally treats animals like objects. He was just saying, for the soybean that I mostly sell for feed.
It's just the Nirvana fallacy then.
Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was just a appeal to hypocrisy. It wasn't like he doesn't give a shit. Which is what
he gives a shit about. He seems to give a shit about dogs and chimpanzees, though. Very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing that I wanted to ask him or like bring up, is that like we're not even like saying that we're the same. We just grant that animals have the same desire to live that humans do, and the same desire of wanting their autonomy respected. But yeah, it's fine.
I was kind of getting a little muddled with my audio. Did he bite the bullet that we can farm Vulcans? I missed it.
I missed that as well. I'm out, guys. I was supposed to be streaming for only like an hour, and it's been over 3
hours. Yeah.
I just couldn't help myself. I had to start clowning on him at the end there. Dude, the Chinese genetic thing was wild. Holy shit.
Oh, he didn't answer the Vulcan thing because he said we don't know how to interact with the meat of Vulcans, so we don't have instinct toward it. And then he went into mushrooms. And then humans have instinct to not eat poisonous mushrooms, but babies don't.
Yeah, I didn't even say meat. I made it clear that it was farming Vulcans for unnecessary stuff, but it was too hard to like really clarify that because he was just so triggered at that point. He was so emotional with the Holocaust thing.
Yeah, that was a problematic move for him, I suppose.
Which the whole instinct of eating poisonous mushrooms is also a lie. Like, people have been eating poisonous mushrooms for I don't even know how long. Like,
literally, there is like a mushroom that kind of looks like portobello on top, but then it has gills. and looks exactly like portobello, but it has gills. And I almost ate that fucking mushroom. Like, literally took me, just like all the willpower to go and look if I should eat this mushroom. Would have been dead.
Oh no. Yeah, no, like legit, there's a reason that people have to be taught how to identify poisonous from not poisonous mushrooms.
No, but literally, like, even animals, they just don't have certain instincts until you teach them. For instance, you know that calves sometimes they just like put their face inside the milk to drink in the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the instinct to drink of anything if it doesn't have like the fucking teeth, right? Or if you get a little kitten that doesn't have a mother, right, and mother haven't taught them how to poop yet and how to cover the poop, you have to move the little feet to show them how to move the dirt over the poop. They don't have the instinct for that. So it's all just like stupid vibe shit. It's like, oh, it's just like I heard this evolutionary psychology thing, and now I think it's true. Just stupid.
Which this could also be like said to even something more just blatantly untrue, that like if we all have the instinct to speak then, but that would be instantly disproven because we already have numerous of studies that if a child isn't around language for a certain amount of years, they can't speak. Like they can't develop the ability to speak if they're not around language. So we don't have the instinct to speak. It's a taught thing.
Yeah. Anyways.
There's some crazy case reports on that, right? Of like children who were kept in isolation by like abusers.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're talking about? And I think I saw the one where like the one girl couldn't even learn how to walk or something because she was kept in a terrible circumstance. So yeah, we have a lot of you're right. We have like a lot of learned behaviors that we don't just like have an instinct to speak. Yeah. Well, so many claims with zero evidence, and then he provided one piece of evidence, and it had nothing to do with his claim every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, just vibes. I mean, I called it when he came in and he started, well, I'm a soy farmer, I'm a this farmer. I called it, I said, you can't extrapolate your farming experience onto the entire world population and how to feed us, right? And he proceeded to do exactly that, trying to extrapolate his own experience onto the world population and like not even making comparative analysis. Like, in order to say a soybean is less likely to feed the world population than beef, in order to make that claim, you have to compare between the two. You can't just go, oh, soybean can't feed the world's population. First of all, empirical claims. Second of all, just like, maybe a soybean can feed more than beef, right? Like, you have to compare between the two. And by the fucking way, on 400 acres that Tone was farming when he was a child, you could grow 360,000 kilograms of edible protein by the soybean.
Yeah.
Just like FYI.
I can't believe he kept like dismissing the TVP like you guys mentioned like TVP and soya chunks like 3 times too, and he just like completely glossed over that and then went back to mentioning meal and everything like that. Like we can't use meal right after you mentioned that TVP is made out of meal. So like I don't.
Yeah.
And then he was saying that it's not a balanced diet, like, or I think he said to either balanced diet or complete protein. I can't remember which it was, but yeah, like TVP is a complete protein. So
no, he was talking about complete. I don't think he knows what a complete protein is.
okay.
He was just like ignoring TVP entirely.
Yeah.
When I think the meal, right, TVP is very low in fat, very high in fiber, very high in protein. I think it's literally fucking meal, and it's one of the best proteins on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking, like, how can you make the claim that you can get so little food from a fucking soybean when you literally can use 100% of it, as opposed to a cow? Anyways, guys, you can stick around, but I'm gonna leave and end the stream.
Okay.
All right, because I have to wake up early tomorrow.
Okay.
See you later, guys. Bye.
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 Okay, I'm gonna head over to VIB. Yeah, we finished the first half of the 24-hour stream, so now we have a whole other 12 hours to go.
We're not going to top the brain rot of that one.
Nope. That was a fucking finale for the last. That was a fucking finale of the first half of the 12-hour stream, or the first half of the. Holy shit. That was nuts. But yeah, I'll see you guys in VIB.
Okay.
All right.
With the science, because these days science really has been developed, right?
I want to show you something. I'm drawing this just to kind of like explain this to you, right?
Which link?
No, on my screen. On my screen. Do you see it on my screen? I'm streaming. I'm streaming.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I can see you, but
do you see this triangle thing?
I am new in that Discord and I don't know what exactly you mean.
So you see all of the profiles, like you see me on camera and stuff like that.
Yes, yes, yes.
And next to me, there should be like press to view share screen or something.
Yes.
And when you press it, you'll join my screen where I'm like drawing stuff.
Oh yes, I find that one. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So I want to show you something really interesting, and this is kind of like probability, real quick. So yes, there can be actually scientific discoveries which change how we think about certain things, right? But
Right.
let's use smoking for the matter, just to make it easier. If let's say we have a case study of 5 million people showing that smoking does cause cancer, right? To disprove it, let's say if we just minus by 1, right? Hold on. Let's say this is 100, right? 100%. If there is one person who disproved it, it's going to be like 0.001 probability for someone to actually do that. There's a tiny, tiny amount for someone to disprove all of these 5 million people. Tiny amount. Probably even extra zero, right? And we know based on probability, that's almost impossible to find studies or find people who can like debunk this. It's fucking almost impossible. But when we have a study on, let's say, 3 people, right? Let's say that a new person comes out and says, well, actually, so a 4th person, and says, well, actually, I disprove this. I can disprove this. And what's the probability of this? The probability of them disproving the 3 people is 20%, if my mathematics is right. 20% is way bigger than the 0.000001, right? It's like it's dramatically huge to disprove these 3 people.
I totally understand you and what you're trying to tell me, and I really appreciate that. But I do not. Okay, so let me tell you, I believe in science. I totally have trust in science these days. But what I'm trying to say that I believe my religion. Yeah, do that. But what I'm trying to say, I believe my religion more than science. You know what I mean?
No. You can still follow your religion and just listen to this specific part, because this is really important. When we talk about quality of evidence, the religion does not take effect on this, because religion is mostly faith. And there's no way to demonstrate faith, right? Right?
I didn't catch that.
Okay, so science, it's outside of quality of evidence. It's outside of evidence itself, because religion is faith-based. You have to believe, right?
Yes, right.
So it is completely out of this. but I want to kind of stick it outside of religion just to keep it in real life case scenario. Because the reason why I'm showing you this, it's not to disprove religion or whatever the fuck. I like you can follow whatever. But for me, the reason why I'm showing you this, because we're talking about a diet that is only based on plants. So we do have, so the reason why I'm showing you this, because we do have this form of study, the systematic, the top of the top of the top, to show that people who are vegan can live a very healthy life. And we have pretty shit evidence over here that vegans cannot survive or have a healthy life. So then the question is, Infinity, if vegans, or if people can be vegan for the rest of their life, they can live a really good life, they can have less cancers and stuff like that if they're vegan, what's stopping you from being like, you know what, being nice to animals gives me this health increase, so maybe I should care about the animals and myself, and maybe I should go vegan. Because vegan.
Hey, yeah, if that 100% true, yes, I'm gonna go for that for sure.
What kind of evidence can I show you right now to show you that you can be completely healthy without hurting animals?
Okay.
Because now this is a really important part. I can show you studies, but studies are very complicated. But if you want them, I can give them to you. But I'm asking you, what can I show you, including myself, to show you that we can be healthy on the plant-based diet? I can even send you a link to vegan Muslims if you want.
Yeah, there is a vegan Muslims. I don't tell you that.
I'll put it in the side chat for you, vegan Muslims.
Okay.
There you go. If you want to read a little bit more about it. But yes.
So
if there's any evidence that you would like for me to show you that we can be healthy without harming animals, what can I show you?
Do you actually
Wait,
believe?
Axel?
Oh,
hold on, because we're getting to almost the end part of it. Trust the process.
Well, I just didn't know that if he actually believed that you can't be healthy off of a plant-based diet.
Well, that's why I showed them the Okay, just let Infinity talk.
Yeah,
What's
guys. The problem is your point of view is totally for the scientific, right? And the science and the facts and all of that stuffs. But here the point. I totally trust the science, and yeah, really science help us in a lot of things, and it's not wrong actually. We can say science is always right, maybe 99%, 0.99999%. Okay? We can say that. But the point is, I do trust and believe. I totally understand that you told me that's out of the religion and there is vegan Muslims, but I totally trust and believe in my religion more than any science. Okay, so
that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as my religion says that no problem to do that, so there is no problem.
Wait, hold on. But hold on. There's a bit of a confusion. Do you agree that we can be healthy without eating animal products?
I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientific. I'm a scientist. I'm sorry. And
Oh, let me rephrase it. Sorry, let me rephrase it. Does your religion say you have to eat meat?
No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that I have to do that, but it says I can do that.
You can, okay, but here's a question. Here's a question. You agreed that if you can live without hurting animals, that would be something you would consider, correct?
Yes, if that not gonna affecting me.
you're gonna have the same health, or even probably better, because we know that when it comes to certain meats, they can be problematic for your health. But that's irrelevant to this.
I think we have a point here. We agree about something because my religion doesn't say that I need or I have to eat animals. It just say I can't do that. So I have the choice. I have the choice to
But then the choice is, if the choice English. The question is, if the choice is between hurting an animal for, let's say, KFC, or not hurting an animal for vegan KFC, you said it's better to have the vegan version if you can be just as healthy.
Yes, exactly. I agree to that.
So
And I
now it's really important for me to show you that you can be healthy. You can be healthy on a vegan diet. And that's why I'm asking, what can I show you? What evidence can I give you right now to show you can be healthy?
I don't know.
Okay. What about this? How about a website where you sign up to try to go vegan for 22 days, which is completely free, and it's going to help you with all of your nutrition?
That sounds good.
That's what?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So I'll show you. So this website, I'll put it in the chat. It's called Challenge 22. It's all free. You can sign up, and basically they help you go vegan for 22 days. If you, for example, let's say you go to the gym and you said, oh, I don't know how to get 120 grams of protein, they will tell you exactly where you can get it. And you can even tell them, oh, I live in this area of the world. What can I eat for protein? They'll be like, we got you. This is how you do it. But remember this, the reason why we are here, we don't benefit from here. Dude, we are literally just fucking yapping and yapping. The only individuals which benefit, it's the animals. The animals that get to live if you make that change. If you do care, this is something I usually tell people. If you do respect animals and don't want them to be killed, this is the right thing to do. Because veganism is not a religion. It's a belief that we should respect animals. And it's also the actions of what you do. Because if I had to kill an animal, I would do it if I absolutely had to, right? Same with like I can tell you right now, I respect all humans, but if someone came at me with a knife, I would kill them, right? But I can still say I respect humans. But we cannot say we respect animals while wanting KFC. Like, that's kind of fucked. And that's why we're here. We're here to have conversations with people, because if people like you go vegan, you save approximately like 200 animals a year, give or take. If you can save 200 individuals from being killed for a want, that's good. That's really good. That's really good. Also, if anyone's interested, just to show you guys that I'm actually vegan, because it's crazy, I'm gonna post a picture of what I bought today in the store. There you go. You guys can criticize me. It's a bit of a big picture. Yeah, but Infinity, as I said, if you believe it's the right thing to do to respect animals, then do it. You, how do I get? What do people say? You do the same thing. You probably are going to do the same thing every other day, but switch some foods. But animals get a lot by not being created to be killed. So, Infinity, do you have any other questions for us?
No.
No? Do you understand why people are vegan now?
Yeah, I could understand your point of view and what you are trying to say, and that is somehow reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
It's reasonable. It's reasonable. It's reasonable, actually.
And that's why we want people to be vegan. I think when we are born as children, we are vegan, and then our parents are like, you know what? Let's abuse animals. Because it's kind of society we live in.
But I have a question for you.
Yes.
You act with the animals as a creature and as a living organisms, and we do not have the right to kill them for no reason, like just for fun.
I'm against killing animals unnecessarily if there's no
Yes.
need to do it. Yes.
Okay. So, don't you think that planets or maybe nutritions for vegetables and fruits and all of those stuff, they are a living organisms?
They are living, but they are not conscious. They cannot think. They don't have the properties to think. Because to make it super easy for you, Infinity, to think, it requires a brain.
Okay, till now, like what I mean to say is, we can, like maybe after 2,000 years from now, there is a scientist who will say, hey, if I have a theory that says that planets or maybe vegetables has brains and they can think. But you don't like right now we don't know how.
Okay.
But that is possible because there is a lot of things in our days right now.
I like your question. I know exactly where your question is leading, and I will answer it in two ways. Scientifically, that would never happen. But secondly, if it happens, let's say fiction is real. Let's say it happens. Do you know if we were to eat just plants, we are eating way less plants if we're vegan. Because imagine, like a cow eats 20 kilograms of food every single day. A human stomach can only fit 2 to 3 kilograms.
I see. Yeah, I totally understand you, but this is gonna be from the point of we're gonna reduce eating the living organism, but we still do. But we still eat living organisms.
Yeah.
So that doesn't change anything. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because we still have to, right? We have to eat something.
Exactly.
And for example, if this was true, I bet you 1,000,000%, I bet you that vegans would choose plants which fulfill them more and there's less of them. So instead of eating, let's say, a lot of seeds, they would just eat one huge potato. So they would reduce the amount of suffering if plants did suffer.
Hey, yeah, that's nice, and really, I appreciate your way in thinking that you do not the animals be killed for no reason if we have another choice, which is plants, right?
Yep.
But who knows? Who knows? Maybe the plants has a brains, and
be careful. Be careful when you talk about science. I have to warn you.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna be careful. But what I'm trying to say is, there's a lot of things nowadays science has created, and those things in nowadays was not exist maybe 2 or 3,000 years ago, and people at that time even don't imagine that's gonna be happening, and they at that time they didn't think that that can be possible to do. You know what I mean? So maybe, for example, cars.
Wait, Infinity, I have an amazing question for you that will like you would understand this right after the question. Let's say there's a house on fire, right? There's a house on fire, and you can save only the cactus or only a dog. Which one would you save and why?
Okay, I'm gonna go for dogs, but maybe anyone of the room can go for cats because
you can only have one, either a cactus or a dog.
Okay, maybe I'm gonna go for dog because I love dogs more than cats. Maybe.
What if it's an animal?
It's cactus.
Oh, hold on. Oh, cactus. Or like a flower.
Oh,
right?
cactus. Oh, it's my bad.
Yeah, I'm just asking. Let's say it's a random animal you don't really like. Let's say it's a hamster or a flower.
Cactus,
which one would you save?
It depends.
Depends on
okay,
what.
So let me ask. Let me answer your question. Maybe I'm gonna go for the dog for sure. Most people gonna do for the dogs.
But why? Why would you?
Let me answer you. Because dogs, in that way, in that in that time, like we can say, okay, let's say that we can realize as a human that dogs can think and feel more than flowers, right?
Da, da, da.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. My question is, yeah, that doesn't change anything actually, because flowers still living organisms,
But they
and
cannot think.
who knows? My question is,
The
who knows?
science. The science.
Yeah,
The
hey, science. Okay,
science.
science is still developing, improving.
But,
Science is not something we can.
okay,
Yeah, for
okay, infinity. Okay,
drugs.
infinity. I'll make it super easy. I'll explain the science of plants biology just in a very easy concept. Is it possible for my water bottle to turn into a spaceship?
No, it's not possible for sure.
That's how impossible it is for plants to have consciousness.
Okay. So I want to add something because this is really important. We can't prove that even humans are sentient. We can't prove that animals are sentient, and we can't prove that plants are sentient. However, we can infer, right, based off of evidence. There's no proof of sentience because humans, like, I could be lying about my subjective experience every day of my life, right? I could just say that I do have subjective experience and I could just be lying about it, right? But we have evidence to suggest and infer that you, you, are sentient based off of select few evidence. Like we have eyes, we have a brain, we have tongues, we have nerves, we have a central nervous system. This is the same thing with other animals. However, this is not the case for plants. They react to stimuli. They do not react in a sentient response. Animals react a lot more common to humans than they do to plants, and plants react in a very different way than humans do and other animals.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
What do you think about the plants that eat meat,
Yeah,
move,
like
and even
like
appear
the
to
Venus
think?
flytrap. Okay, like this is great. I love this. So think of your computer, right? I tap the letter P on my keyboard and it puts the letter P on the screen, right?
Right.
Okay, so that is responding to stimuli. You say the Venus flytrap, right? If a fly touches the hairs on the Venus flytrap, the mouth closes and eats the fly, right? Well, this mouth would also close if I put my finger in there, if I put a pen in there. It doesn't matter what touches the hair of the Venus flytrap. It's not biased. There is nothing, it's just simply responding to the stimulus of the hair being touched. And it will actually die if you keep on closing all the mouths because it uses like nutrients from the soil to close its mouth and everything. And so if you keep on touching all the mouths of the Venus flytrap will die. Where else? So it's just simply responding to stimulus, regardless if it's going to die or not. However, if I step on a tail of a dog, or step on the foot of a human, or step on the tail or body part of an animal, they might, let's just stick with the dog might bite me, the dog might cry, the dog might yelp, the dog might roll over, they might run away, they might do nothing, right? Same thing with a human stepping on their foot. They might hit me, they might yell, they might cry, they might run away, they might do nothing.
So okay, that's great. Yeah. Well, I have another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you just said if you put a pin inside those planets, would they eat it like it's a fly or not?
It would
So
it would close the mouth just responding to the stimulus. Yes.
I can
close.
even like touch
Yeah,
it with my finger, and
yeah, they're gonna close their mouths. Yeah, exactly. But if you put a pin in the mouth of those plants,
it will. It will close the mouth.
yeah, but their plants they are not gonna eat it. Yeah, they're gonna close the mouths,
Right.
but they will not eat them.
Wait,
So
wait,
that is a
Infinity.
proof. Okay, so
Infinity.
that is a yes. Yeah, go ahead.
The issue is that they have stomach, not stomach, sorry. They have acid in the mouth to digest organisms. They don't have digestive system for metal.
Yeah, they can't just dissolve the pen and get nutrients from the pen. Or same thing with my finger. Like, it's gonna take a very long time for them to...
Okay.
I don't even think they can dissolve skin.
Okay, so let me tell you what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is planets, animals, humans, all of that are living organisms. But the difference is we can say animals and humans, they have some, we can say, share qualities, like they have eyes like we have. They can feel pain like we feel. Planets, we can say they think and feel, but not at the same way humans and animals do. And you're gonna ask me, and you're gonna, hey, let me complete. And you're gonna ask me, do you have a proof of that? To be honest with you guys, I am not interested. I'm not that interested in science with you, Philip. Okay, but maybe we can say that after 3,000 from now years, after 3,000 years from now, there's a scientist will prove that planets are think and they are feel and they are act like living organisms, but not the same way as humans and animals do.
Wait. Hold on. This is super important. Infinity. Let's talk about this when there's actual science on that. But the current science is plants don't feel anything, animals do feel something.
Exactly.
So
okay.
now,
I totally agree with you. So we can say in the current science, we cannot say that planets can hear or feel or think. But let me tell you something. 1,000 or maybe 3,000 years ago.
Oh no!
Let me tell you, there is no science says that we can take the same nutrition from the animals, from planets, as same as the animals. So
we have science on that now.
Yeah, we have that on that now. But I'm trying to talk about the same logic
But
that you are.
Right now, you're participating in someone's throat being slit based off of a hypothesis that in 3,000 years, that plants might have the same feeling as animals to justify currently slitting the throat of someone we know feels pain, we know fights for their life, we know that doesn't want to die, just because you want to get some tasty food in your mouth.
But also, on top of this, Infinity,
Hey, I'm not. Let me answer him. He said something right now. Hey, I agree with you when you said that we do not have the right to kill animals for unnecessary reason, right? Okay, but with the same logic, I can tell you that the planets they can think and can feel, but in a different way. But the problem is there is no science to prove that currently. But maybe after 1,000 or 3 or 4,000 years from now, there is a science will prove that planets can feel and think.
This still man the plants with takes a lot more plants to.
This is gonna be. Hold on. This is gonna be also very important, Infinity. If we want to talk about the future, right? What happens in 5,000, 10,000 years? We can only if you go vegan. The reason why, because vegans think on a better level than people than non-vegans. The reason why, because we actually care about these issues. Imagine if someone came up to you and said, well, what if this, while they're currently abusing someone, right? What's really important, it's don't abuse any individuals, don't harm any animals, because we know right now they can feel they have all of these properties. And maybe when you go vegan, we can talk about in about 5,000 years what we should do as vegans.
Okay. We are agree to that. I agree to that.
Because we as vegans sometimes just like say, yo, Axel, what if in 10,000 years our food starts talking to us, you know? Just random shit.
Okay, so let me tell you why exactly I'm telling you that. Because 1,000 years ago, there is a lot of things that we didn't know, and we know that things right now because of the science prove it currently. You know what I mean?
I can disprove these claims and these things. I've kind of showed you the example of it. Like, yes, disapproving certain science can happen, but it's extremely freaking rare. It's like winning a lottery while being on a 5-star jet. It's almost impossible, right? But I think for now, let's focus on what is important right now. It's if you care about animals, go try challenge 22. Go vegan or follow a plant-based diet for a month, and come chat with us from time to time, because we can talk about these concepts as you do them. As you go vegan, as you go on a plant-based only diet, we can talk about, oh, what if this? What if that? Because we care about animals just as much, I hope, just as much as you do, if you actually do care about them.
I really care about them.
So let's do something about it.
So, okay, I have my last question for you. My last question ever, and I'm going to chill with my friends because it's my holiday today.
Okay.
Okay. So, what if there is a science theory in the future says that planets can feel, think, and act like humans and animals, but in a different way?
Yeah,
are you get back to eat animals? Because
no, wait.
Different because
I have to draw this to you. I have to draw this to you because this is going to be very important. Because I feel like your friends are going to ask you this. So let's say we have a cow over here, moo moo, okay? Literally moo moo, and this is a human. Okay.
I told you that I am new on that one, so
you'll have to press my screen again, by the way.
Okay, I press your screen on the chat, right?
Do you see me draw, by the way?
No.
Next to Axel, next to my face, there should be a button to view my screen. Axel, can you help him maybe? Oh no, you're doing something, sorry.
Okay. I can see your stream and I click on you. And right now I can see the chat. So what do you want me to do?
Oh no. Next to my head on my camera, there should be a button to press like view stream. Or view something.
You mean the 3 points, which is called options?
No, hold on, I'll show you. So on my screen, it looks like this.
Axel Britt. That one? No.
Okay, in the chat, you see in the chat, I'm like drawing and it says live.
Just a moment. Oh, I cannot see that live. Let me
Yeah, just press that. Just tell me when you're looking.
Okay, let me take a screenshot. That's all I can see.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't see? I can do it. If you don't see it, I can do it. I can still do it.
You can go ahead and I will try to.
No, I'll kind of I can explain this to you. Let's say times 2 times 20 times 4. Oh shit, I can't even do 4. Okay, I'll just draw this. Okay, do you see the chat, by the way?
Yeah, I see the chat.
I'll show you this. So let's say in your example, plants can think, right? You see this?
Yeah, I can see that one.
Okay, now we're going to go from the bottom to the top. So let's say the plants have a brain, and that's where the pink thing, right? The plants have brain. So as you see, a human would eat 2 fields worth of plants, and a cow would eat 10 times more, right? Then the cow has to also age for 4 years, and then the human eats the cow. So it is better if a human just eats a huge 2 fields rather than 20 over 4 years. Because it's 20, 20, 20, 20, 20 for 4 years. So
Plus the animal also dies.
Yeah, so the easiest way. Sorry?
Okay, I'm sorry. You can continue right now. I'm sorry.
I'll show you one last thing, and you will kind of understand this real quick. One last thing, and then you probably can go with your friends, do whatever, okay? Give me one quick second. Let's say... Oh, no, this is good. You see this picture on the side chat?
Yes. Probably.
Imagine these humans are plants. Which one is better, the top or the bottom?
The bottom.
Okay, that's vegan. That's a vegan action. There you go. By being vegan, you eat less plants.
Okay. I agree with you that right now.
Can I try something? Like your argument essentially is like, oh, in the future, if like science changes, so like why can't I like then eat animals right now, for example, right? It's like potentially plants are sentient. That's like your arguments, right? So how does this differ from like me saying, well, black people could potentially be not sentient? Like maybe science will change and science will tell us that black humans are not sentient. Am I like, is it then justified for me to exploit them now?
Okay, that's because the only difference with the black people and the white people is only the color of the people.
But
no.
Someone can say in 5,000 years, black people will no longer be people.
Exactly. Like you're like assuming that black people are like the same, right? How do you know that's true? Science always changes, right? Like you're saying.
Okay, I'm not a scientist, but let me answer you in a very simple way. So this is not possible because the only difference with the black people and the white people, the color, and they have the same thing. The black people have the same thing as the white people, different age quality.
Right. So Infinity Trolls. Let me explain to you why it's impossible for plants to be sentient. If you understand anything about how neuroscientists come to truths within their field and how to determine whether a being is sentient, they use a few particular models. The most famous one is P sentience, right? Plants don't have a central nervous system. They don't have brains. They don't have cerebral ganglia, right? There is no.
I kind of explained it to him. That
yeah, sure, but I'll just do it again, right? Just to make sure that he knows that there is no possible way that plants can be sentient. There is no nociception. There is no integrated nociception. There is no motivational trade-offs, right? So it's impossible for plants to be sentient. If you're saying, well, they could still be sentient in 5,000 years when science changes, I could say the exact same thing about black people.
And also, even if plants evolve to at some point become sentient, some of them, we can just eat the other ones, right? We can just eat the ones that haven't evolved.
You're asking me?
No, I'm just stating that even if some plants become sentient, we can just eat the other ones that are not sentient.
Like the points we're trying to make here, right? It's like the way you're kind of talking about this. To me, it's kind of as ridiculous as saying that like black people could potentially not be sentient, so therefore it justifies me exploiting them, right? They both are like impossibilities. Okay, granted, it's more likely that like plants could be sentient. I won't deny that. But my point is, sorry, yeah?
Yeah, let me answer your question. You asked me, and I just need to answer you, and I'm gonna get out of that.
Yeah, sure.
I really need to go. Okay. Okay. So let me tell you that that's possible. And my answer is that may be possible, and from the science prescriptive, that possible. Okay. But what is our frame that can tell us that will happen in the future and that will not happen in the future? For me, is the religion, because the religion has been not changed over the last years, over the last thousands years till now. And until now, scientists discovered something today that our religion, which is Islam, discovered the same thing from maybe 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. Okay.
So, do you know Surah al-Kahf, the cave?
Yeah.
So, can you look up verse 86, ayah 86 in that?
Okay, let me open. Yeah, just a moment.
Sure.
Just a moment. I will come soon. Okay, so you told me Surah Al-Kahf, right?
Yeah, 1886.
18. You mean Ayah? 1886?
Ayah 86.
Ayah 86. Okay, just a moment. Okay. Yeah, it's in front of me right now.
Sure. So, do you see that it says that the sun rises from a muddy spring of water?
Like, okay, you understand Arabic?
Yes.
Okay, so can you read the ayah?
No, I can't. I can't like read Fusha. I can understand Arabic.
You do not need to read. Okay, you can understand Fusha. Okay. So ayah 86, which means, let me read it to you, okay? To make sure that we are on the same page. قال ستجدني إن شاء الله صابرا ولا أعصي لك أمره. Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
so it says the sun sets in a muddy spring. Do you think that's scientifically accurate?
I really didn't catch that.
So, do you think it's scientifically accurate what it says there in the Quran?
قال ستجدني إن شاء الله صابرا ولا أعصي لك أمره. That's
Yes.
one. Okay, you know what that mean?
Yes. Do you think that's scientifically accurate?
Hey, there is no scientific theory here.
Wait, let me hold up. Let me send it to you. Hold up.
Like the translation of the ayah is, "You will find me, if God wills, patient, and I will not disobey your command." That is the translation of the ayah.
No, wait, sorry. I think I'm on the wrong one. Give me a second.
That is ayah 86. So yeah.
Yeah. But are we on the same surah? I think. Wait, let me send it to you. Hold up.
Yeah, there's
Yes,
someone on the
exactly.
chat. حتى
That's
إذا
the
بلغ
one.
مغرب الشمس وجدها. Okay. So you mean the ayah which says, "Until when he reached the place where the sun sets, he found it sitting in a dark muddy spring, and he found near it a people. We said, oh, well, all those Dhul-Qarnayn, either punish them or treat them with kindness." That one you mean?
So how does a Muslim refute the claim that the sun sets in a muddy spring?
Okay, so let me tell you what it that verse mean. Okay, just a moment. I'm gonna translate it.
Sure. But by the way, all the tafsir, they mention the same thing, that the sun sets in a muddy spring.
Okay. Because that verse it doesn't mean literally, you know. In Arabic there is something called tabir magazi. Let me translate that for you to tell you how can you say in English. You know what is tabir? You know what is tabir magazi is in English?
Tabir? No.
Okay, let me tell you. It means figurative expression. Okay.
Sorry?
Figurative expression, and let me send it to the chat. Okay, so let me tell you the meaning of that verse. He reached the place where the sun sets means he reached the farthest western point he was able to reach. Okay? So it doesn't mean that literally. It means he reached the farthest western point he was able to reach. So that verse, it doesn't.
Wait, how do you know it's not literally?
Okay, that question. Okay, because there's something in Arabic called tabir magazi. It's something like a grammar in English. Okay, like when I tell you, hey, it rains dogs and cats. How did you know that it's not literally? Because it's not possible to rain dogs and cats. It means it rains heavy, right?
Wait, but doesn't this mean that you can like pick and choose whatever you want, like from the Quran, and then call it like scientifically accurate? Like for example, if it's, let's say it does say it's raining cats and dogs in the Quran, right? And then it turns out that it actually does rain cats and dogs. And then as a post hoc, you can say, oh, well, therefore it proves the Quran correctly. And there are scientific miracles in there.
Okay. Okay, so let me explain.
What's about the one, for example, about like bones before flesh?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not
like embryology in the Quran, for example.
Yeah, I'm not translating the Quran verse as I want or as from my point of prescriptive. There is, we can say, an expert researchers, okay, in that religion field, they are translating the Quran to us. It was like they are all expert researchers.
Yes, okay? The tafsir.
Tafsir, exactly. So you know the tafsir. So I'm not translating the Quran as I want. I follow the tafsir, you know.
And you know that the tafsir, they claim the same thing I'm claiming. Like for example,
For example, let me Google it right now.
Okay.
Hold up.
Okay.
Here, so this is Ibn Abbas.
Which surah and which?
1886. Where the sun sets, he found it in a muddy spring, a blackened, muddy, and stinking spring. Let's see, Ibn Kathir.
Okay, you want Kathir Tafsir?
No, I've got it in front of me. Hold up.
Okay, Night Fury says, bro, I think the Quran here describes the matter from the perspective of the human himself, not what's actually happening in reality.
Okay, so here, the overwhelming consensus from the early tafsirs was that it's literally that the sun sets directly into a muddy and hot spring. So Muqatil ibn Sulaiman describes it plainly. The sun enters a blackened, stinking spring at sunset. Al-Maturidi in Ta'wilat Ahl al-Sunnah treats the verse literally. Abu al-Layth al-Samarqandi in Bahr al-Ulum describes the sun setting directly into a murky, muddy spring event. Al-Tabari says the same thing. So
to be honest with you, I didn't catch maybe the majority of the thing that you have just said today.
Sorry.
Now.
Yeah, so I'm saying that the early tafsir, they agree that it's literal. It's literal and it's not metaphorical.
What is the name of that tafsir?
Yeah, sure. Al-Tabari.
Can you write it down in the chat?
Yeah, I'll send them to you. Hold up. I put them in the chats.
Okay.
So the Yusuf Ali translation says he found the sun set in a spring of murky water, right, in Arabic. So, like the consensus here is that it's literal.
Okay, let me do my research.
Oh, there's also this one. Hold up. In Sunan Sa'id ibn Mansur, in one of the oldest hadith books, number 1359. Let me send it to you. Hold up.
Okay. 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 I've got Muhammad ibn Jarir al-Tabri, that one you have sent me, right? Tafsir.
Yeah.
That one. Okay, so that one tafsir, it says, until when he reached the setting place of the sun, he found sitting in a muddy spring, and he found near it a people. Okay, it means, just a moment, he means Muhammad al-Missi, Muhammad ibn Jarir al-Tabri, Zulkarnain reached the farthest western point of the earth he could travel to. Setting place of the sun refers to what appears to the human eye at the horizon. So that Muhammad ibn Jarir al-Tabri. So he refers to what the human can see from that prescriptive or from that point, from that situation, from his, we can say, from his vision of that place. You know what I mean?
No, sorry, can you explain again?
Sure. So his tafsir basically it says Zulkarnain reached the farthest western point of the earth he could travel to. Setting place of the sunset refers to what appears to the human eye at the horizon. You know what I mean right now?
No, hold up. So you're essentially saying that Tabari said that it's allegorical, right?
Okay, I'm trying to tell you the Quran here describes the matter from the perspective of the human himself, not what is actually happening in reality. So that
Right,
was.
but I don't buy the argument though. Like all the early tafsir say the opposites, that it's not allegorical.
Can you send me any document says that or anything?
Yeah, sure. I'm looking at
Because
Tabari,
bro,
right?
yeah, it's
And
so.
I'm
Yeah, go
going
ahead.
into the book, right? This talks about the 15 narrations that were taken literally by him, confirming that it's literal, like a literal interpretation from Tabari. Here, let me send it to you. Hold up. I need to
Okay.
screenshot this somehow.
Okay, so just to make sure they're on the same page, you're trying to oh, my brain stopped thinking. You're trying to convince me that the Quran tafsir here in that verse is literally
Yes,
tafsir.
basically.
Okay. But I don't believe in that because it's very clear because we have something in Arabic called ta'bir magazi, as I said, and that doesn't mean that we describe the thing as it is.
Right,
Okay.
but then you would have to agree that the tafsir are wrong on this, the early scholars.
Okay. Let me tell you something, by the way. Like, not all Muslims are good people, and not all Christians are good people, and not any category of people are good, right? We agree on that. Okay. So basically,
Yeah, but I'm trying to make sure that you understand that like the scientific miracles in the Quran are like built on water, right? It's like all these things that people say, they are kind of just not true. For every scientific miracle that I see in the Quran about like the Earth expanding or like the bees being like female or whatever, right? Like this, I can find like historical inaccuracies. I can find like scientific inaccuracies. I can talk about like how the bones come before flesh, for example. I can talk about embryology within the Quran, right? Like we can keep going. I think that this is just like an argument that just falls falls flat.
Okay. Okay, Roberto, basically, let me tell you that I'm a Muslim, but I'm not, that's something bad, okay? But I'm not really aware of every and each single details regarding my religion. I
That's
just
fine.
believe yeah, I think that's not the best thing, okay? But at least I believe of my religion. I believe in my religion. Okay, and I can say that tafsir for that verse is not literally, because there's nothing called that, and there's a lot of people. Yeah, if you told me, you send me four people or four person who translate or made a tafsir to that verse as it is literally, right? Okay, so there's other 100 people make a tafsir to that same verse. It's not literally. Okay.
Right, but we're talking about like Debedi, for example. He's like the golden standard, right? He's up there with Ibn Kathir in terms of like he understands Islam so much, right? To the point where like if you're going against Debedi, you're going against like Sunni traditions. I don't know what madhab you are, but essentially like all of the four madhab, Shafi, Maliki, Hanbali, they agree with like these early interpretations of like Ibn Kathir, with Tabari, you know, they use these in order to like come up with like jurisprudence, right? Like fiqh. And to me, it's pretty clear that like this is something that's non-negotiable. Here, Ibn Hams as well. Hazm, I mean.
Hazm, yeah. Hazm.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem. Okay,
like, I can.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I can only find like early tafsir from like in favor of like the literal meaning of this, and I think that like the historical revisionism is kind of crazy here. But like, regardless of that, fine. It's like, I mean, I can give you another example. I can give you thousands of examples. Like, what about I think it's in Surah Nahl. Wait, give me a second. Yeah, it's about embryology, right? And it talks about like how bones are formed before the flesh.
Hey, Roberto, I really do not aware of all of the Quran here. That book, I do not aware all of it, and as I told you, that's something bad. So I cannot discuss with you something I don't aware of it. You know.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not an expert in that part. Okay, so I cannot discuss with you, but I totally believe that if there is any expert here in my religion, he's gonna convince you that Quran is right, and that Quran is really like there's nothing wrong in that book. No.
I used to be if you want my personal story, I used to be a Muslim. Do you know what da'wah is? Like
okay,
that.
So you used to be Muslim, but right now you're not Muslim, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's because of these issues. It's because of like all these like muftis and all these like scholars like trying to like change the religion to the point where it's like they go to like extreme lengths to justify something that ultimately can't be justified. Like
Okay.
I've heard all these arguments from like scholars. I've heard everything, and ultimately I just think that's they are yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I really want to tell you something. Okay. I've searched to Muhammad ibn Jarir Tabri, Abu Layth al-Samarkandi, Muqatil ibn Sulaiman, Abu Mansur al-Matridi. Okay. You know, my life, I've never heard about that Mufassirin. Okay, I've never heard about them. But there is more trustable persons in our Muslim world. You can give them your trust in interpreting or translating and tafsir that Quran. Okay, other than people.
Right, but the thing is, right? It's like, are you for example saying that like Tabari is someone that hasn't had like influence on the jurisprudence within Islam, for example? Like all the at least the Sunni traditions, right? They take Tabari's words of like a lot of epistemic value. Like you can't say that all these early like scholars, right? That they're kind of like randoms, right? So I'm cherry picking these verses. That's just not true. Actually, you can try this yourself, man. You can go to like the You can go to like sunad.com, right? You can put in the verse and it'll it'll show you all the tafsir about this, right? You can even like download the books themselves from the website. It'll say the same thing that like everyone used to think, like the early scholars used to take this verse literally. And there is plenty of other examples I can give you.
Okay, let me
go
ahead. Tell me.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say it's not only this verse; it's thousands of them. There is a whole website called Islamic scientific inaccuracies within Islam, or for example, historical inaccuracies. If you go to Surah Nisa 157, what is it? وَقَوْلِهِمْ إِنَا قَتَلْنَا عِيسَى ibn Maryam. I forgot the verse, but it's like it talks about how Jesus Christ he never died, right? This contradicts historical claims about everything. This contradicts historical Occam's razor, right? You can say, right, like the Quran is always right, but you also have to understand that like these things contradict science and they contradict history.
Okay, I just need to make sure that we're on the same page. You mean that there's some verses in the Quran are not matches history, right? So
exactly.
Okay. And who told you that history is right?
Historical sources. So essentially, there's a thing called the historic principle. I forgot the name. It's essentially like a bunch of criteria in order to understand whether something is historically accurate or not. It's an indisputable fact that Jesus Christ died under Pontius Pilate. Secular scholars will agree to this. Everyone will agree to this, except for the Quran, because it was made to appear so. This contradicts like historical narrative.
Okay. So I just I'm not aware, and I didn't understand like maybe say 100% of what you're trying to tell me, but I understand some of that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, I feel like that is not related to veganism.
Well, the thing is, man, like ultimately, if you're always just going to appeal to religion, there is nothing that we can do, right? Like you'll say, oh, well, the Quran and the Hadith say that I can exploit animals, so therefore I will, right? And that's an issue because, like, from our perspective, it's like it's almost like there is nothing we can say to convince you. So at this point, I think that we need to internally critique Islam.
Hey, Roberto, listen. It doesn't nothing to say to convince you with that. The issue is I'm not fully aware of my religion, so that's why I cannot convince you. So if there is an expert of my religion here, he can convince you with what I'm trying to say because I'm not fully aware of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's okay, and I understand, but like, man, I've tried, right? I've had debates with Muslims for like 2 years, right? I go and do these talks to people, and it's always the same. It's always like some explanations that I think are horrible. It's always like they're trying to change the Arabic to like suit their needs. It's always the same sort of thing, and
Hey, Roberto, Arabic is, let me tell you, is somehow complicated. Okay, there's a lot of things in Arabic. Even me, I'm an Arabic and I speak Arabic very well, as I'm from Egypt, by the way, so I speak Arabic. And even there's some Fusha, okay, in the Quran, and there's some words I don't even know what it means. So I need someone to explain for me what the Arabic means. And that happened even, and I am an Arabic. So I cannot imagine that you are trying to interrupt or translate verses of the Quran, and you are not an Arabic speaker. Okay.
Well, the thing is, right? I understand what you're saying, but it's not like I haven't done my research either, right? Like you can go to there is literal dictionaries, like old Fusha, like Quraysh dialects, like what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke. There is like a lot of resources that can help you with this. And when I keep seeing the same sorts of answers, like, oh, the Arabic says something else, even though there's no historical record of this, all of the tafsir like go towards like one explanation. At that point, it's like, well, yeah, you can say Arabic is complicated, but if everything points towards it not being true, then there is nothing else for me to do. I just think that they're going to like extreme lengths to justify their religion, even though ultimately it's like impossible to do this. For example, in Surah An-Nisa, right, verse 34, it says to hit in the English translation, right? If you go to like any of the historical
Okay,
records,
so you told me Surah An-Nisa, verse 44?
34.
34. Okay, let me open it. Okay. Okay,
I
which
don't know.
is
Surely you've heard this verse before, right? It's like they say it a
الرجال
lot.
الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض, right? وبما اتفقوا
No,
من
no, the
أموال.
end.
The ends. Which means فإن أطعنكم فلا تبغوا عليهن سبيلا إن الله كان عليا كبيرا.
No, keep going.
Oh, that is the end of the verse.
Wait, I think we're at the wrong one. 34, right? So An-Nisa 34, Ayah 34, 433.
Okay, and is okay, I just Google it, but let me open from my Mus'haf, okay?
Sure. I can send it as well. Hold up.
Okay, go ahead.
Here it's in the side chats.
Okay, and it's that verse 34, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The one which says ذرية بعضها من بعض والله سميع عليم إذ
Oh my.
I do understand, accept the arguments in favor of like gods, but I don't believe in revelation.
Geez, like you are believing Musa, right?
No,
Kitab?
no. Like I believe in just like a god, right?
Can you write
See ya, man.
guys? Bye bye.
See ya, man. Yeah, so to everyone here, like, I mean, I think at this point we had to like internally critique his religion. I normally never do this, right? Never, because the return on interest is so little, and like it will take like hours and hours to talk about. But I think like I kind of wanted to wait whether like how he reacts, and see whether it's like worth continuing talking to this guy, which I might actually do.
Yeah, I usually don't do it because it's for me it's just like forever conversations, and that's why
It is.
Yeah,
it is. But like the thing as well, like in my case, it really helps me because I kind of want to be like I kind of want to like deconstruct Islam in general. So all these things like help me.
no, it's fine. It's fine if you want to do it and stuff like that. I sometimes like play around if I ever want to like talk with people about it. I do. It's just knowing that you're gonna talk for a longest time. It's just
Yeah. No, 100%. Like next time, just cut me off or something. If you like, I didn't think anyone was really willing to
No, you're
talk
fine.
anyway. So yeah.
You can yap about whatever you want as long as there's not too many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating
way,
because like yeah, go on.
I was just gonna ask Felix, what if in 10,000 years from now,
oh fuck off,
your toenails become sentient, man?
No.
What are you gonna do?
Hold on.
Hold on. I need to take a
Hold up. What if in 5,000 years, I'm gonna one up you. What if in 5,000 years we find that every holy book is correct and every belief system is correct and they all were right, that we just have the right to slit animals' throats?
Well, but like the crazy thing is like I think his argument is internally consistent. Like if I believed in Islam, I probably would say the same sort of thing. Like maybe animals are like not sentient and like Allah knows this and therefore like it's okay for me to do this, right? It's like I ultimately am limited in epistemology, so I think like the argument is like internally consistent.
Okay, Dista, can you read side chat real quick?
Give me a moment.
I'm not sure if anyone watched an anime called Parasite, but this is the reference.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a really good anime. Do you recommend it?
Well, but it would be worse if your toenails become sentient, because then you wouldn't be able to cut them, I guess, and then they would grow and then you couldn't even walk anymore because,
Dude. Maybe it could be like a haircut or something.
How would you would have to either walk shoeless or make like cutouts for the nails on the shoes?
But your nails don't have nerves, so they wouldn't feel. Get debunked.
No, but they become sentient, bro.
But they don't have nerves.
It's magic, okay? Go with it. Just like plants. It's just magic, bro.
I love how like at some
just
point
like the Quran. It's all magical.
Like he at some points was like, oh, with the black people, it's just impossible. But like with plants, it is possible, right? Like it's It's such like a post hoc rationalization that he probably doesn't even realize himself.
Yeah, he wasn't tracking. I don't think he was tracking what you were arguing for. He wasn't able to understand the logic.
I don't think any
he wasn't
of
able
us
to
were
follow.
tracking, bro. Like, what the fuck was going on? I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Fuck it, we're growing cabbage.
Yeah.
In 40 years, plants are gonna be sentient. It's not even gonna be 5,000. It's gonna be 40. You know why I know this? Because I know this.
It's fine by me because I'll be gone by then.
Dude, I'm sorry, but there is 0.000000000000000001% chance it could happen.
Disagree.
No, dude, it's like an 80% chance because I say so.
Because the Quran says so.
No, I'm smarter than the Quran. I'm smarter than the Quran.
Hey, man. Jeremias.
I think the vegan.
Well, plot twist. What if the Quran itself becomes sentient?
Fuck itself.
Maybe that's
there's
why
actually
the
like
translation.
a whole debate in.
Maybe that's why the translation gets fucked so much. Is because it's sentient. It keeps changing fucking like script and everything, and so people get confused. And it's just fucking with people. The Quran is just a fucking troll.
Well, if you want like a metaphysical answer, right? It's like the Quran is said to be Allah's speech, like the Kalam Allah, and the Allah himself is like the being, right? And they're both like eternal and uncreated. So you could make an argument that the Quran itself is eternally existing and like has like causal power. So maybe it's like sentient.
Yeah, man, makes sense.
Everything in the Quran makes sense, and nothing is false.
Yeah, man.
It's the pure book, bro. Like, nothing in there can be ever deducted as false or misleading.
Yeah.
It is the most straightforward, logical book ever created.
You are fake news.
Written by millions of fucking people that have added their own fucking sentences to make sure that it is the most coherent book ever in existence.
Yeah, man.
Bruh.
And also, my sperm does not come from my testicles. It comes from my
it comes
what
from
is
a
it?
magical
The tailbone. Tailbone. Yeah, it comes from it.
That's a good one. I should have mentioned that actually. I know a lot of the tafsir behind it as well. I'll try that next time.
Yeah.
Do they mean that it comes from like the spinal cord communicating to the testicles or something like that?
Yeah, some bullshit.
Who the fuck knows, man? You have to ask the Quran when it becomes sentient.
Wait, Abdul Rahman.
الو برو
كيف حالك اخي؟
خويا يا عم
خويا انت مغربي؟
لا انا مصري.
انت نباتي.
انت منين كده منين؟
Be vegan.
انا لسه شاري 2 كيلو صدور فراخ امبارح.
بتقول ايه؟
لسه شاري 2 كيلو صدور فراخ امبارح.
انت منين يا عم؟ انا مصري يا عم. انت ايه انت مصري؟
Bro, English, man. English.
Yes, Egypt.
English.
So
English, do you know?
I just said I bought 2 kilograms chicken breast yesterday.
Okay. And you want a fucking medal for being a piece of shit? Like, I don't know. Like,
piece of shit, you holiday. Right?
Chicken breast is a piece of shit.
no,
Man.
you are a
Let's say
piece of shit for
chicken breast دي.
Hold on, let me answer. You guys can hold on
Hold
for a
on.
second. You are a piece of shit for participating in a chicken dying so you can eat their breast.
I'm kind of confused now. Does it say in the Quran that you should be a dumbass?
Are you insulting me, bro?
I am giving an opinion that you are a piece of shit for participating in slavery and murder and joking about it.
Wait, let's be cordial about this. So, Abdul Rahman, are you vegan? Do you want to talk about this? Do you have a question for vegans? Or Survivor? Would you like to speak about veganism? I promise I'll be nice. No? Okay.
I eat everything.
Do you know what veganism is? Because it's not a diet. It's not about like what you put in your mouth, right? It's more than that.
Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah, so veganism is not a diet. Do you know what veganism means?
What is vegan?
So veganism is an ethical principle, right? So think of like maybe like slavery abolishment, or think of maybe like feminism, right? And veganism is to like animals, so what feminism is to women, right? It's essentially saying that like these animals don't exist for us, but rather that they exist for themselves, right? They have inherent value because they are sentient beings with emotions, and we shouldn't exploit them. See you later.
Every day is a moron day. A moron day. Then no fi stop my happy soul. It no matter we go the vibe. Every day is a moron day.
Are morons sentient though?
Yeah, unfortunately they can talk. Yeah, that sucks.
But I don't think they hear, so I think they're deaf. Or or at least they're unable to process sound.
Would you eat a moron if they were not sentient?
No, I don't get a kick out of meat, but maybe if I was really hungry and like there was some really good barbecue
I don't know,
sauce.
man. I don't know, man. I would be afraid of catching the stupid, man.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's very true. What if they're poisonous too? Like,
yeah,
they could just give you
poison with the stupid.
Yeah, like poisonous through brain rot. Like your brain just decomposes completely.
Yeah.
Something that really like icks me about like these like Muslims when I talk to them as an ex-Muslim, they think that my like apostasy is like unjustified. So they're always saying things like, "Oh, I don't know, it's like the Arabic you don't know, it's difficult," or like, "Oh, speak to like this mufti or sheikh and like they'll fix everything." Like it's kind of like they assume that, I mean, which you kind of have to do as a Muslim, but they kind of like presuppose that their religion is like correct or something, which I don't know, is kind of like annoying and it grinds my gears. Hello, who? Assalamu alaikum. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Wie geht's dir? Здравствуйте. Konnichiwa.
I still don't think there's anyone more annoying than VFX that has come here.
Who's that?
Noon is the name. I'm pretty sure you.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm familiar. Like they're like a Christian or something.
Yes, Orthodox Christian who stomps on the necks of rabbits with a broomstick.
Amazing.
Yeah. I still think he is the most annoying. Like, out of all the people, all the annoying motherfuckers that I have wanted to physically punch in the face, he's probably the most annoying.
Yeah, I've spoken to like literal like animal rapists and stuff, right? So like it can get really, really bad.
What were you gonna say, Broccoli?
He's also a world-class moron.
Yes.
He has like a very severe case of Dunning-Kruger, man. Holy shit, he's so confidently dumb.
Talking about me again.
No, we're talking about Noon. I think a few of us could agree that out of all the fucking idiots that come in here, he's the most annoying.
Well, I can't anymore. What a shame.
I can't remember who was the vegan that wanted to keep talking to them over and over again. I know I wanted to talk to him for a few times, and then he called me his friend, and then after that it was done. But then there was somebody else who continuously just wanted to talk to him and kept bringing him back in.
Sounds like me.
Huh. I don't think you would want to keep talking to him though. Like I think he'll wear you thin.
I don't know, like I might be really like naive in this case, but like I have this mindset that I'm able to convince anyone given enough time.
That's copium.
Copium for real though. I think I've spent, I don't know, like it's been over a day. I've spent over a day talking to him. And a combination of everyone talking to him, like we've spent months talking to the guy. And it just has...
Mahmoud, are you here?
Hello, guys.
Say them.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Yes, I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good as well. Would you like to talk about veganism?
Yes, I can.
Sorry?
As we are speaking all the time about veganism, I like it. But today I'm eating chicken.
So you've been here before?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. And like you haven't changed, like you don't think our arguments were good? Do you still have like an issue with veganism?
I'm not any problem, but when I wanted to become veganism, I face a lot of challenging and return to eat some meat, chicken, something like that. I have some challenging to face this.
What's are like those challenges? Like what made it difficult for you?
I found difficult to stop of eating the meat and chicken, but I like veganism.
Yeah, I mean, like to me, it just kind of sounds like you. I don't know your like situation or anything, but it kind of sounds like you have like a vegan mindset, maybe, right? Like you want to respect animals and you understand that like it's wrong to kill them for like their or exploit them, right? For their like clothing, eggs, dairy, whatever, food. But you just find it difficult to practice in your life, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there like anything like what's this exactly stopping you? Like for example, could you just go to like a supermarket and just get like vegan stuff instead?
Yeah, but when I come here, you encourage me to stop that. But after a lot of day, I return again.
But why? Like it's difficult. I know, but maybe to like put it like this, right? What does it say about like you as a person when you drop your like moral framework at the slightest sounds of inconvenience?
But to challenge that or defeat that, I will follow you every day because every day I become very weak and return again. I promise you, if I'm come here every day, I will not. I will stop with that. You can make some modified to stop us to become veganism. Can you make any modify, any follow, some subscription to not to remember us not doing that again?
I'm sorry, I find it a bit like difficult to hear. Can you maybe repeat?
I'm sorry about that. There are some voice. Is the voice now good?
I think it's maybe like I don't know what it is, but like yeah, it's a bit hard for me to understand.
So Alex, what are you doing? Is this a monkey?
Focus on the conversation, not on me. I'm just here.
I think you want to eat him.
Mahmoud, can I ask like where you live? Like what country?
Yeah, I'm from Arab country.
Like Egypt or?
Yeah, from Egypt.
Do you not like in Egypt, like for example, you've got so many like vegan dishes, right? It's like you know, like koshari, you know, like all these things. They are like cheap.
Like what?
You know, koshari.
Yes, koshari,
Yeah, man. Like and yawachta kachi. Like you're so lucky. Like to live in a country with like so many vegan options, right? And also like it's cheap where you live. Like meat, all these things are so expensive, right? Like and you know that you want to respect animals, right? Do you not think that like I know that you tried before, but
like
what exactly?
Yeah, I got it. For this high price, I can stop of eat meat or chicken. It will be very easy to stop that. For me, maybe I spent 1 month not eating any from animals, but now I'm returning today. It will be great to spend a month without that, but I return again.
Well, right, and I understand like it might be difficult sometimes, but
Yeah.
I just don't understand because it's kind of like it sounds like you want to be a vegan. You've tried to be a vegan, so like why just suddenly did you stop?
Because I don't find anything I like the kosher and a lot of things not available in here because I live in the near of the city and most of the vegetables is not near of the city.
But you can go into a supermarket and you can get like beans, lentils, legumes, fruit, seeds, rice, breads, like these things, right? I mean, is it really worth like exploiting these animals just because I don't know, like surely you can get these items, right, where you live?
So how long did you not eating veganism or didn't you eat something meat or a chicken?
Yeah, so for me it's been exactly 1 year. 1 year and 5 days.
Did you like that?
Sorry?
Did you like that? Not eating salmon?
Well,
Or you find so much challenging?
Look, okay, let's put it like this, right? It's like, sure, maybe I kind of like miss like some things, and maybe it's kind of inconvenience. Like I'll agree, right? It's like it's really inconvenience actually. Like it's hard to go to restaurants and stuff like this. But I think if like I'm not the victim here, right? It's like I'm a person in a position of power, and like have you watched Spider-Man?
Did you find that your body started to become very weak?
No, not at all. Actually, like if anything, like I've gotten stronger like over time. Like I do gym 6 times a week, and like it's I don't notice anything different. If anything, like it helps. But like the reason I'm talking about Spider-Man is because in the Spider-Man movie he says something, right? With great power comes great responsibility. And we need to understand that like we are like in this position. We have power, and these animals, right? They are like in like a subordinate like position. So we can choose to like exploit them, and we can choose not to. So I think, right? It's like maybe it's kind of hard. It's a bit more difficult, but we understand that like these beings, they don't want to be exploited. So this motivates me to like keep going.
But when I started to go to the gym and started to stop of eating animals, I feel something weaken of my body, no progress on my body. I feel weak. I can't wait the weight. It became very tough for me. So I started to return again to eat animals. How you can adapt to that, make balance with that? You are going to the gym 6 days and not eating some animals, and you are become very better. How about that? When I go to the gym 3 days, I can't make any balance about that.
Yeah, maybe it's like your diet that's like low in protein or something. I'm not really sure. Like for example, I eat a lot of things that are really high in protein, and I get 180 grams a day, like easily, right? So maybe it's like you can buy some things, maybe like soy, tofu, tempeh, seitan, TVP. Like some things that are like high in protein,